Hi, welcome back to Educator.com. Today's lesson will find us exploring intervals. Our lesson objectives will be looking at intervals and steps building melody. We'll be exploring major and perfect intervals. We're going to analyze and transpose Eine kleine Nachtmusik, a melody by Mozart. And we'll be analyzing and transposing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, also originally by Mozart. Okay, so we're looking at the major seconds. It's made up of two half steps. From C to D is 1, 2, beginning with C. So practice writing major seconds out and playing through them in various keys. G sharp to A sharp. And the tricky one, B flat to C, even though this looks like it's bigger than a major second. 1, 2, it's only two half steps. And again, the same thing from E to F sharp. Only two half steps. So B flat to C and E to F sharp. And it sounds like this. The tones are very close together. So major third, minor third. The third is very important in a chord. As you know, it qualifies the chord to be either major or minor. So as we know, a major third is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half steps. 5 half steps. A minor third is 4 half steps. So from C to E is major. From C to E flat is minor. Let's practice some bass clef. A to C is minor. A to C sharp is major. And if we play through them, minor, major. Very small changes. It does become tricky to hear them once you start playing them around the keyboard in different keys. Major, minor, major, minor. Okay, so moving on to perfect fourth and perfect fifth. These are both really easy to see on the keyboard. C to F is a perfect fourth. C to G is a perfect fifth. And these are great practice to find really quickly with your fingers. Even if you're not that good, if you feel like you're not as comfortable or good at keyboard, you need to work on the keyboard a lot for theory and for composition. So it's great practice to start with simple intervals. Fourth, fifth. So let's take a look at some of these. There's a fifth. There's a fourth. Fifths and fourths are so simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very easy to find. So for some, this is a fifth, black key to white key. And this is a fifth. This is a fifth. You can't see that. Let's do that here. This is a fifth. Let's write some. A fifth from E is B. A fifth from F is C. The fifths are always either two lines or two spaces. Let's find a line fifth. Now, a perfect fourth goes from a line to a space or a space to a line. F to B flat. E to A. These are closer intervals. Okay, moving on to the major sixth. This is another interval that will always go from a line to a space. And let's go G, A, B, C, D, E. There's a sixth, major sixth. And they are hard to hear. The sixth is the inversion of a third. So you can find this sixth on either side of the C. This is a minor third, this is a major sixth. It's an interesting interval. Not exactly obvious when you hear it. So let's move on to the major seventh and perfect octave. These are very strong intervals in that the major seventh is very much pulling your ear towards the perfect octave. So let's listen to this. From D to C sharp. It's very hard to just leave that interval hanging. You want it to move. There. Same thing. Like that. So those are really good tools to know, when you're writing music. Those are good tools to use to draw your listener's ear towards the key that you want it to rest in. So we're going to look at unaccompanied Nachtmusik and look at some intervals. We're going to start with the G. We're just going to copy out the very basic melody. Okay. And just copy this. So we'll just do the first two measures, and we're going to look at what interval we have here. From G to D, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a perfect fourth. Between these two, perfect fourth, perfect fourth, perfect fourth, perfect fourth. Whoa, there's a lot of perfect fourths in the very beginning of this melody. Now, from the G to B natural, this is a major third, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Major third. And from B to D, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a minor third. So let's listen to this melody. That's very repetitive, and it really draws your ear into the beginning because it's so repetitive. That's how it begins. And those are the only two notes that are different from all the other notes in the beginning. So let's look at the second measure of that piece. We have C. The same rhythm, but slightly different harmony. Okay. Right now we're just looking at intervals. We'll get into Roman numeral analysis a bit later on, but for now, we're just going to be very basic and take this apart using intervals. So this A to C, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a minor third, minor third, minor third, minor third again, minor third, very repetitive. A to F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a minor third. F sharp to A, 1, 2, 3, 4, minor third. A to D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A to D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a perfect fifth. Well, this statement, the second statement of that song, of the melody of Eine Kleine, is very repetitive using lots of minor thirds. These are all minor thirds. And then it ends on a very solid perfect fifth. So let's start again from the beginning. That's going back and forth between 1 and 5. Now, if it's in the key of G, then this is ending on the key of D. So the second statement is really heavily grabbing our ear and leaning it towards the fifth scale degree, the D of G. Okay, moving on. We're going to start writing our own melody. We'll come back to Eine Kleine a little later. And we're going to use a major second and major third. We're going to stick with C major. And we're going to be playing with a melody, a major second and a major third away from C. So let's just do a very basic C, D, C, E. Here's your major second. Here's your major third. There are a few different variations you could actually have with this combination. You could start with a major third and then go down 2 major seconds. You could start on the E. So even only using 4 notes, there's several different ways we can use a major second and a major third. The first way we wrote is second way. So we can start low, we can start high. It's great practice to begin working with smaller intervals and finding little variations within the cell structure of one measure or two measures. Okay, so let's try this again using a perfect fourth and major third, a little bit bigger. We're going to use C again, and a fourth from C is F, and a third is E. Let's try a few variations. Okay, so here's one. Here's another one. Let's do one more. And this time we'll use quarter notes. And we're going to add a minor third in there too. Major second. Major third. So we added one more interval in there. Here's our perfect fourth. Here's another minor second that we used. Major third. So we're adding some more intervals. Major third, minor third, major second, major third. Okay, so let's hear what kind of variation we get when we can add a fourth to this combination. This is the first one. C, F, E, C. Then we start with F. Then we'll start on the F again. Okay, so generally when we're working with C's and F's, we really have our ears led back to C because F in the key of C, F feels incomplete staying on F, right? We really feel that going back to C. Okay, moving on to practice writing a melody using a perfect fifth and major sixth. Okay, so let's just do one. Here's C to G. Here's our perfect fifth. And here is our perfect major sixth. Okay, we'll do perfect fifth. This is a major second, major sixth. This time we'll start on the perfect fifth. A to D. We're going to change the rules a little bit and have perfect fifths and major sixths between notes other than C. Here's our major sixth. Here's our major second. It's great to put limitations on your composition at first so you don't have that many choices and you can sort of just be stuck with the limits that we put on ourselves. Makes it a little easier to just craft a melody out of thin air. Here's the fifth, second. That sounds really nice. Let's try the second one. Definitely much less stable sounding than the melody beginning and ending on C. That's kind of more of a question. Okay, so moving on to our fourth example. We're going to write a melody using an octave, a major seventh, and a major sixth. So let's start with this high C and go down. Here's our octave. And we're going to go to the B. So this is a minor second. And from the B, we're going to go back up to the C. Then we're going to use this B. Here's our major seventh. Here's our minor second. And now we need a sixth. So we'll go up to the C. And then we'll go down to major sixth. Let's see. C, D, E, F, G, A. We'll go up to the A. And then we'll end on a G. We'll see how this sounds. Interesting. And here we go. Here's the C. There's our octave. Minor second. Here's the major second. That is definitely going to travel somewhere else before we come back to C. Let's listen to that again. Octave, minor second, major second. It's very symmetrical. The movement going down to neighboring tones and then back up. It's interesting how that one worked out. Okay, so our fifth example will be transposing eine kleine Nachtmusik to C. Originally it was in G. So we're going to be composing this down a fifth. Okay, so if you have your notes from the Eine Kleine before, we're going to start on a C, and then we go down a fourth. A perfect fourth, and then back up to C, and then down a perfect fourth. And then here's the bar line, and then we'll go C, G, C, E, G. Okay. Eighth note, beamed together. Okay, and here's our rest. So we'll just do this first measure here. We have our perfect fourth interval, perfect fourth, perfect fourth, perfect fourth, perfect fourth, perfect fourth, major third, minor third. Let's have a listen to this. Okay, so originally it was, and a great way to play this melody is to play both keys at the same time. So you can hear each key fighting the other one for dominance. When we're playing something a perfect fifth apart, it's really hard for either key to win out because they're both incredibly strong when played at the same time as the other key. So using our intervals, we did a great job doing that. And for this slide, we're going to analyze Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which is also from Mozart. He wrote this piece. So we're going to write these notes, just the first part. Okay, we have C, C, G, G. Let's count the intervals between C and G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, a perfect fifth. So C, C, G, G, A, A, G. Okay, then this is a major second, major second. Let's go ahead and play this and see how it sounds. If we were going to throw in our Roman numeral analysis, this would be the beginning for the C. And then for the G, we would harmonize that with a 5-chorded G. And then for the A, we go down to 4. Or there are so many things we could do. Let's listen to that again. When we harmonize that G with the minor third of the scale, it really adds an interesting, sort of sad, more dark tone to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We can transpose Twinkle Twinkle to other keys as well. So we transposed Eine Kleine, let's transpose Twinkle Twinkle. We began that in C last time. So here it is in C. Let's move this to F. Okay, so there's the C. Let's try this in F. So we're going to go down a fifth. Remember that this is a perfect fifth, so let's try the perfect fifth from F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is C. And then we need a major second, so a major second above C is D. To transpose any song into any other key, if you know how to work with intervals, then you can feel very successful and confident about transposition. It sounds much more complicated than it is, and it's very handy if you're collaborating with other people, especially instruments in different keys. It's great to know how to transpose. So here's our C, and here's our F. Just a fifth apart. So that's just a very brief lesson about transposition, and keep watching these lessons for more about composition and songwriting, and keep watching Educator.com.